like the fun stuff, their favorite activities, the lessons that have gone well in the past, and work their way through all the topics. But you might get to the end of the unit and ask yourself, how am I going to assess my students? How am I going to write report card comments around this unit? And that's why I start with the most important part of unit planning first, which is the rubric. In this video, we're going to learn how the rubric is the best place to start when you're lesson planning and how Pedagogy AI can help you get there in a few clicks and a little help from good old AI. Welcome to Pedagogy AI's Rubric Writer. Now, I designed this whole app from the rubric out. So we're going to start at the rubric because that's the most important component of our educational planning. When we establish a series of key understandings for rubrics that we can use and share with our students, they're going to do a better job in trying to meet and the understandings of the work that we're doing. So for example, if we want to have some standard rubrics for across the whole year that we could just tweak or adapt as we go, we might want to start with some things on communication or thinking and use those ideas across different curricular areas. For example, a language arts rubric that you can also use when you're assessing writing in social studies or writing in science or writing in word problems for mathematics. So it can go across the areas really easily. So what we're going to do is going to go up here and we're going to hit create a rubric. I'm going to use communication, and let's assume we're teaching grade 6, and we're going to start with English language arts because I think this is an important place to begin in our foundational work. So then we're going to go to the big ideas. You're going to notice that they're already here. You don't need to go to the BC Education site, the curriculum website. Everything you need is right here at your fingertips. So let's just say we're going to use questioning what we hear, read, and view contributions to our ability to think critically. This is a big idea that can go across all curricular areas. So this is a great one to have as one of our go-to. Now, with the connection to the API, all the curricular areas load right here. You don't need to leave the website. So we might want to, let's see, analyze how word choice images influence meaning and emotions. And the content might be how media and visual elements shape the meaning and messages. So now we might want to connect this to something that we have to write in. So what is it we're really trying to get to? So what I want to do is be able to identify points of view of texts across subjects. So this might be super helpful in social studies or science as you're studying innovation. The rubric name, this is going to be our English language arts. This is going to be POV texts. Now, you can also add more information into this box here. You might have specific ideas where you want it to go. And then we're going to generate the rubric. And it says with AI, I'm being honest, we're using the Claude API here to put all these pieces together in a rubric for you. And it does take a few seconds, so be patient. And then what we have here is our rubric. And so it says, and this will be used later on when we do assignments, is beginning to identify a point of view and recognize the authors have purpose for their writing. With continued practice and support, can develop stronger skills in analyzing how perspective shapes meaning in text. So for example, if you're using this rubric in grade 6 and you're studying ancient civilizations, for example, and you're interested in finding out who is the point of view, or if you're doing a play, you might be analyzing who's speaking and the impact that has on the decisions that are being made. This is a rubric that could be used many ways across the curriculum. So once you have your rubric and you're happy with it, you can save your rubric. And then what happens is all of the rubrics that you've saved are here in your rubrics roster. So you may come back to this later on and you may want to print this. So if you want to print your rubric, it prints it in color coding. So you can see this in depth, and you can, of course, make changes to it. And once you have some benchmark rubrics, you're off and running for the rest of the year. You don't have to have a new rubric for each and every assignment. You can have benchmark rubrics that you use over and over again, because anything that uses your point of view or an analysis can use this rubric. And these are rubrics you could post across your classroom and that kids will get to use and be familiar with. And everybody can start to aspire to consistently identifying points of view across texts and use that language in your classroom to greater success. So here is Pedagogy AI's Rubric Builder. Thank you. Pedagogy AI was built by a BC teacher for BC teachers and anybody who uses the BC curriculum or something similar to it. And it's going to help you with those administrative tasks that take up a lot of time. Rubric making is one of them. Use one rubric, use it all year, adjust it, tweak it, apply the same rubric for literacy, for example, to social studies, to science, to math, and make your life a little easier. This app will go from rubric making to report card comments through the course of a year with you or at the end of each term. So let's keep going. Our next lesson, we're going to learn how to use that rubric to build a unit plan. So stay tuned and I'll see you in the next video.